Assalamu alaikum guys, hope you're all fine. I'm Dr. Samreen and here I will share last year paper of Jkpsc examination lecturer previous year education paper. So what is the first question here? Which of the following characteristics is the most basic to good emotional adjustment? So the first option is ability to make friends easily. Second option, ability to make head on attack on problems and as they arise. Third one is high level of frustration to tolerance. And fourth is ability to channel one's energies towards the attainment of the desired goals. So the correct answer you have, that is the part D. Second question is probably the best way of handling the child who displays negativism. Example, refuses to obey the order is. First option is to ignore his defiance. It is the natural phenomena which he will outgrow. Second is to take every opportunity to praise him for positive attitude. Third is to insist on complaints to the same degree as other students. And fourth one is none of the above. So the correct answer is B. To take every opportunity to praise him. उसको प्रेज करना है for positive attitude. Now the third question is the Spearman's theory of intelligence is to Thorndike as. Spearman theory जो है वो theory of intelligence है and Thorndike जो है उसका आंसर क्या होगा? First is qualitative, is to quantitative, innate to acquired, culture, free to culture fairer, verbal is to performance. So the correct answer is innate to acquired. Now the fourth question is culture fear test of intelligence is one that attempts to make the items free from all cultural influence, attempts to equalize the culture biases of the items so that the overall test is reasonable fair to all. Third is standardized separately for each culture and socio-economic level. And fourth one is attempts to minimize the cultural biases of the items, and this is the correct answer. Now the next question is field theory of psychologists would place least value on learning by wholes, differentiation through insight, emphasis upon relationship, the synaptic theory that is SR bond, stimulus response bond. The correct answer is synaptic theory. Now the sixth question is the law of effect is most closely connected with the concept of. First option is reinforcement. Second option is tension reduction. Third option is the conditioned response. And fourth option is practice. So the correct answer is concept of the reinforcement. Now another seventh question is which of the following is not a product of learning? Options are attitudes, maturation, concepts and skills.
B is the
correct
right
answer is the B. Next is which of the following is not a characteristics of the mentally retarded child? First option is he is generally above average in sensory, motor, musical and artistic aptitude. He tends to be above average in one or two traits. He is relatively lacking in ability to abstract and generalize. And fourth is he tends to be retarded in his physical development. So the correct answer is first, he is generally above the average in sensory, motor, physical and artistic aptitude. Now next question is which of the following probably represents the most ideal form of adjustment? First option is adaptation to one's environment, second conformity to social expectation, third modification of one's environment to meet one's standard of excellence, and D part integration of one's goal and purpose with those of the social order. So the correct answer is integration of one's goal and purpose with those of the social order. So question number 10 is boosting is a form of introjection, compensation, projection, rationalization. The correct answer is compensation. Now question number 11. Psychology's major contribution to education lies in defining the goals for which teachers should strive, providing a scientific foundation for the art of teaching, comparing the relative effectiveness of various teaching procedures, and identifying potentially successful educational procedures. So the correct answer is providing a scientific foundation for the art of teaching. Now, question number 12. All the behavior is caused by the need and is oriented towards a solution of the problem, attainment of a goal, organization of experience, overcoming obstacles. So, the answer is attainment of a goal. Next question is the individual behavior is best accounted for by his unsatisfied needs, social pressure, complex system of interacting motives and the goals, his moral training as incorporated. So the correct answer is complex system of interacting motives and the goals. When arranged in order of potency according to Maslow's, which of the following needs would come in third in the series? There are 5 needs actually. So here 4 is only given because options are 4. Love needs, psychological needs, safety needs and self-actualization needs. So the correct answer is love needs because first is psychological, second is safety, third is love needs and fourth is self-actualization. Now 15th is the self concept refers to the individual's concept of social recognition, concept of his worth, concept of self-esteem, and the option is attitude towards himself in relation to his environment. And this is a correct answer because attitude towards himself in relation to his environment is the self respect, self estimate. वो तो इसका करेक्ट आंसर तो यही है, एटीट्यूड टुवर्ड्स हिमसेल्फ, खुद के साथ यानी डिस्कवर हिमसेल्फ, खुद को डिस्कवर करना. नेक्स्ट इज फीलिंग्स ऑफ inferiority are symptomatic of a discrepancy between one's competence and his level of aspiration, self concept and his self ideal, personal adequacy and his self concept, personal adequacy and that of his peers. So the option B is correct, self concept and his self ideal. Next question is the best way to motivate a child to learn is to appeal to his sense of pride and self respect, to threaten him with failure and punishment, to make liberal use of positive incentives, to rechannel the motives he already has. So the correct answer is to rechannel the motives he already has. Now next is when school children become mischievous, explosive, rebellious or apathetic, the teacher should first look into the atmosphere of the home from where they come, the sociometric structure of the class. The third option is the curricular program and the other attractions competing for the child's interest. And the D part is the appropriateness of the work assigned and the demands made upon them. The correct answer is A. Now 19th question, success of an individual does not depend on his or her IQ, heredity, gender, physical health. So the correct answer is obviously gender. 20th question is the problem which most frequently accompanies fear reaction in children is nail biting, sleep disturbances, stuttering and temper taunts. So the correct answer is sleep disturbances. Now question number 21st. The group structures are measured most commonly by sociogram, the group rating scale, sociodrama, anecdotal record. So the correct answer is sociogram. Another question is the main reason for the high school dropout is dissatisfaction with the school program, desire for employment, dissatisfaction with teachers, pressure from parents. So the answer is dissatisfaction with the school program. Now next question is the most important condition for a group of people to become a community is a well-defined geographical boundaries, common shared ways of thinking and doing, disregard for external influencing, none of the above.
Most important condition for a group.
So the correct answer is common shared ways of thinking and doing. Next question is proposals which have been made for educating out of school youth include organization of the part-time class, maintaining evening school class, establishing adult education, all of the above. So the correct answer is all of the above. Next question is which is not the social aim of education as stated by the Indian Education Commission, जिसको हम कोठारी कमीशन भी कहते हैं. First is relating education to productivity. Second, strengthening social and national integration through educational program. Third is development of moral and spiritual values through education. Fourth, consolidation of democracy through education. So the correct answer is development of moral and spiritual values through education. Next question is, who among the following is the most powerful agent of social change? Principals, teachers, students, social managers. Obviously, they are the teachers. So the next question is, social stratification means traits that are socio-economic in nature, differentiation which carries social prestige, group of different sex, age and intelligence, or all of the above. So the correct answer is differentiation which carries social prestige. Next question is, modernization as a process of social change requires decreased structural differentiation, increased structural differentiation, structural fusion, and none of these.
as a process of social change requires क्या चाहिए
The correct answer is increased structural differentiation. Next is, education as a subsystem of democratic society must respond to the imperatives flowing from the talented members of society who can contribute to its progress. Second, need to strengthening its army to protect the nation, need to maintain peace and order in the society, and last one is nature and direction of national development. That is a correct answer also. A person having modern outlook may be identified on the basis of its outward appearance, social economic status, views, and education. Views is the correct answer. The approach to educational sociology draws its basis from the study of psychology, anthropology, social organization, all of the above. So the correct answer is all of the above. Next question is, the educational sociologists claim that their discipline can contribute to the theory and practice of education. It can give answer to what ought to be taught in school. It can give an answer to how can content be effectively taught. It can give answer to who should receive education, and D part is all of the above. Answers are correct. So the correct answer is all of the above. Now next question is, which of the following is not a factor in influencing group organization? Common moral standards, desire for security, desire for recognition, and none of the above. So the right answer is D, none of the above. Next question is, human nature is the result of the maturation of one's original nature, hereditary factor only, environmental factor only, man's interaction with his culture. So the correct answer is man's interaction with his culture. The latest theory of acculturation, stress, cultural democracy, cultural pluralism, the melting pot idea, all of the above. So the correct answer is cultural pluralism. The agency which plays the most significant role in transition of the individual to a person is school, family, religious institution, and community. That is the responsibility of the family, obviously. So next is, why must the teacher be concerned about the children's activities outside the school? The child is often more interested in the out of school activity. The child is likely to learn bad work habits. Most parents are too busy to take proper care of child. The child learns through its out of school experience. So the correct answer is, the child learns through his out of school experiences. Next is, which of the following is a function of the school in this country? It reflects the culture of the nation and community. It limits and directs both the learning of youth. It is a major force in changing the cultural pattern. All of the above. Here the correct answer is all of the above. Next question is, three of the following are essential for teachers to do if schools are to fulfill the expectation of society. Which one is not? First option, they must make school a replica of adult society. They must relate school activities to cultural pattern. They must record and guide behavior in social interaction. They must know the cultural heritage of the students. So the answer is, they must make school a replica of adult society. Now 40th question is, three of the following are conditions constituting the origin of formal schooling. Which one is not? the need for transmitting the cultural heritage, the existence of tribal taboos, rituals, and mores, the inadequacy of formal agencies to transmit culture, the accumulation of culture involving written language. So the right answer is C, the inadequacy of formal agencies to transmit the culture. Now next question is, which of the following was not a major aim of education according to Gandhian philosophy? Education for self-reliance and capacity to earn one's livelihood, education for intellectual excellence, education for cultural advancement, education for moral and character development. So the correct answer is education for intellectual excellence. Next question is, who emphasized that the aim of education should be to develop in children feeling of international brotherhood and attitude of international understanding? First option is Mahatma Gandhi, second Rabindranath Tagore, third is Rossi, and fourth is John Dewey. So the correct answer is Dr. Rabindranath Tagore. By saying that next to nature, the child should be brought into touch with the stream of social behavior, Tagore seems to be trying to emphasize individual aims of education, social aims of education, individual and social aims, both intellectual development aim of education. So the correct answer is social aims of education. Gandhiji was a naturalist, idealist, pragmatist, all of the above. The answer was all of the above. Now next question is, which of the following believes in duality of existence, Purusha and the Prakriti? Buddhism, Vedanta, Samkhya, none of the above. So the answer is Samkhya. The soul is divine only held in the bondage of matter was advocated by Vedanta philosophy, Samkhya philosophy, Buddhism, all of the above. So the correct answer is Vedanta philosophy. The doctrine of karma forms an integral part of the philosophy of Vedanta, Buddhism, Vedanta and Buddhism, none of the above. The correct answer is Vedanta and Buddhism. Next is, which of the following Indian Education Commission recommended introduction of vocational education for the first time? Hunter Commission, obviously, Radhakrishnan Commission, Mudaliar Commission, and the Kothari Commission. It was done by Mudaliar Commission, that is also called the secondary commissioner. So next is UNESCO report on education for the 21st century is entitled Towards a Learning Society, Towards a Humane and Enlightened Society, Learning the Treasure Within, Learning to Be. The correct answer is Learning the Treasure Within. The report Towards an Enlightened and Humane Society is also known as Janardhan Committee Report, Yashpal Committee Report, Kothari Commission Report, Acharya Ramurthy Committee Report. That's known as Yashpal Committee Report. Now next is John Dewey emphasized education as product, recapitulation, acquisition of knowledge, reconstruction of experience. So the correct answer is reconstruction of experience. So the next question is, it is the function of philosophy to improve the teacher's knowledge of his subject, examine the rational foundation of school practice, rationalize pedagogical theories now being put forth, and D part is answer B and answer C only. So the right answer is B and C. Next question is, teachers need to study educational philosophy because it helps them in deciding their objectives, selecting the content, adopting appropriate methodology, all of the above. So the correct answer is all of the above. Next is, equality of educational opportunity does not imply that everyone has a right to education irrespective of caste, color or creed. Everyone has a right to establish educational institution. Everyone can demand admission in an institution of his her choice. Everyone has a right to obtain quality education. That is the correct answer. Next question is, three of the following has some common things in common. Which one does not belong in this group? Essentialism, experimentalism, pragmatism, and progressivism. So the correct answer is essentialism. Next is, Rousseau's romantic naturalism was opposed to the idea that feelings are a part of nature, doctrine of man's innate depravity, idea of field trips and experimentation, idea of meeting the demands of the child. So the correct answer is doctrine of man's innate depravity. Next is, to educate according to nature means to educate according to the natural laws of human development, to study natural laws and apply them to educational process, neither A nor B, both A and B. So the correct answer is जो है that is both A and B. Now next question. Those whose educational philosophy is rooted in pragmatism reject the scientific method of experimentation, maintain the complete objectivity is possible, claim that knowledge is tentative, truth is relative, accept stimulus response learning theory. The correct answer is claim that knowledge is tentative, truth is relative. Now next question जो है that is a teacher who believes in pragmatism makes use of problem solving and functional activities in his teaching, groups students on the basis of intelligent quotient, emphasize intellectual rather than vocational objects, allow the students to take all the decisions. So the correct answer is make use of problem solving and functional activities in his teaching. Now question number 60. Which of the following is common to pragmatism, naturalism, existentialism? Emphasis on spiritual aims of education, emphasis on individual, emphasis on physical environment, emphasis on value education. तो तीनों जो हैं किसकी बात करते हैं? Emphasis on individual. Now next is programmed learning is an example of information technology, instructional design system, behavior technology, educational technology. The answer is instructional design system. Next question is about the activities of educational technologists. It can be rightly said that he is mainly concerned with preparing lesson plans effectively, delivering the lesson, designing and developing software and hardware to be used in classroom for imparting the instruction. And third is defined objective, selecting media and appropriate technologies, preparing instructional and evaluation tools, and all of the above. So the answer is 3. Now next question is which of the following is not a core teaching skill? Skill of response management, stimulus variation, refocusing, reinforcement. So the right answer जो है that is D. Now next is inductive approach to teaching is generally preferred to deductive approach because it is easy to practice. Students take more interest, it stimulates reflection and leads to concept attainment effectively. None of the above. The correct answer is C. Next is which of the following has done pioneering work in organizing different models of teaching? B.F. Skinner, B. Joyce and M. Whale, or Gagny, none of the above. So the right answer is Joyce and Whale. Now next is who is the author of Advanced Organizer Model? Brunner, Joyce, V. and Whale, David Ausubel, and the Hildar Tava. The correct answer is David. 67. Among the following, which is the most effective consideration in deciding choosing appropriate methods or media to be used in teaching? First, nature of objectives to be realized. Second, complexity of the content. So इसका आंसर जो है that is nature of the objective to be realized. Next is concept attainment is based on inductive approach to teaching learning, deductive approach, synthetic approach, and all of the above. The correct answer is first option. Now question number 69. An objective written performance terms must fulfill at least 3 of the following criteria. Which one is not necessary? Specificity, testability, observability, practicality, and conditions under which performance is to occur. So the correct answer is C. Now question number 70th. Which of the following is not a step in the basic teaching model of Glazier? Assessing the entering behavior, designing and developing instructional objective, attainment of the concepts, performance, assessment, and feedback loop. The correct answer is C. Now next question. Which of the following statement is correct about impairment, disability, and handicap? Impairment and disability have the same connotation. Disability and handicap means the same thing. Handicap and impairment are not different in meaning. Impairment, disability, and handicap are related, but each connotates differently. So the correct answer is D. Is the correct answer. Now 72. According to PWD Person with Disability Act 1995, disability means a person suffering from not less than -% of disability as authenticated by the medical authority. 40%, 30%, 50%, 60%. So the correct answer is 40%. Which of the following mentally retarded person are generally considered educable? Moderate MR, IQ between 35 to 49, mild MR, IQ between 50 to 60, both, neither A nor B. So the answer is B. 74. If the hearing loss is appropriately equal in both ears of a child, which of the following hearing aids will be considered better? Binaural fitting, monaural fitting, and none of the above. So the correct answer is binaural fitting. Now, which of the following is not particularly concerned with rights of children with special needs? UNESCO Commission on Education for 21st Century Learning, the Treasure Within, Geometry and Declaration on Education for All, Salamanca Statement and Framework for Action, Dakar Framework for Action. The correct answer is first. Now, according to UNESCO, as inclusive society is one in which every adult has the right to education, which provides special schooling for disability children, in which difference is respected, celebrated, and valued, none of the above. So, here the correct answer is C. Now, next is which of the following is the best strategy for teaching children with special needs? First, discussion in which maximum number of students participate. Second, demonstration by the teacher involving students in the activity. Cooperative learning and peer tutoring. Ability grouping. So, the correct answer is cooperative learning and peer tutoring. Now, next is which of the following strategies is least important for attitude modification towards disabled children? Advocacy program using films, radio program, TV, etc. Discouraging those who view disabled children negativity. Third is reading the histories of disabled person who have achieved great heights. And D part is involving social participation of parents of such children. So correct answer is B. Now, early identification and intervention of person with special need is important because it is not possible to easily identify the disability after childhood stage is over. The disability identified later is difficult to cure. Third is it is not possible to intervene during adolescent period. And fourth is there is a critical period in the natural development process during which skill is most easily acquired. So the fourth answer is correct. Next is what kind of attitude one should have towards disabled person? An attitude of sympathy and pity, an attitude of benevolence. They deserve independent living and equal opportunity, all of the above. So the correct answer is they deserve independent living and equal opportunities. Now next is which of the following indicates that it is a parameter, not a statistics? X bar, S sigma and N. So the correct answer is S. 80th question is which of the following statements is correct? Values obtained on the base of whole population are known as statistics. Values obtained from samples are known as parameter. Values obtained from population are known as parameter. Values obtained from samples are not known as statistics. Here the correct answer is C. If a researcher wants to know how different levels of an independent variable affect the dependent variable at different levels of another independent variable, he should use analysis of covariance method, two-way analysis, multiple correlation, factor analysis of variance. So he should use factor analysis of variance method, FAV. In case of ANOVA, if there are no treatment effect at all, F ratio will be 0, 1, 1, minus 1, any value between 1 and 0. So F ratio is 0. Whether a researcher should use 0.05 or zero point 0.1 level of significance for testing the hypothesis is determined by how important are the findings, how much risk is involved in correct finding, how much precision is required, all of the above. So the answer is all of the above. Correlation studies reveal whether there is a relation between variable or not, how much relation is there, and of what kind, which variable is the cause and which is the effect, and none of the above. So correct answer is B. 87th question. The case study is the study of single group, single individual, single community, institution or family, single unit done intensively. The correct answer is single unit done intensively. Now next is validity of psychological test means the test measures certain predetermined value, the test measures something consistent, the test measures what it purports to measure, the test yields score that are stable. So the correct answer is C. In the notation R 12.3, which subscript stands for the variable to be partially out, 1, 2, 3 or 1 and both? Here the correct answer is 3. Now next question is guidance and personal service are aimed to help the problem child only, the retarded pupils only, adolescents, all pupils. It helps all the pupils, not only the problem child or retarded pupils. 92 question. Counseling is to guidance as instruction, teaching is to personal work, instruction is to administration, personal work is to education, education is to learning. So the correct answer is personal work is to education. Now 93 question. According to research, which of the following is not a duty generally expected to school counselors? Set up the school curriculum, administer testing program, coordinate guidance program, some classroom teaching. So the correct answer is set up the school curriculum. Now next question is in counseling with the pupil, the teacher should establish rapport with the pupil, plan to do most of the talking, assume responsibility for solving his problem, none of the above. So the correct answer is first. Next is in handling placement service. One should remember that the placement officer should not attempt to do counseling. Placement should include training as well as job placement. Follow up the placement is a function of placement. D part is answer B and C. So the correct answer is here the right answer is D. Answer B and answer C. In placement and carrying out a career conference, the most important need is to see that every pupil gets to talk to at least one visiting consultant. Let the speaker know the general procedure and what is expected of him or her. Schedule all conference the same day or else during the same week. Prevent people from entering the room after the conference has started. So the answer is B. Now next question is the device most frequently used to obtain home background and general information is home visit, questionnaire, interview, autobiography. So the correct answer is questionnaire. Concerning a person's interest, it can be said truthfully that they are inborn rather than developed. They are influenced by past experience. They are a reliable indication of aptitude, none of the above. So the answer is they are influenced by the past experience. The most important element in the conduct of interview is establishment of the good report, preparation of case summary, derivation of hypothesis, freedom from interruptions. So correct answer is first. Now next question in the final analysis, the effectiveness of counseling provided to a school child can be judged best by academic success of the student, personality attributes of the pupil, adjustment of student of school life, vocational effectiveness of the client. So the correct answer is the personality attributes of the pupil. Hope you like this video and share to your friends, nears and dears. Thanks for watching.